Hi everyone, Donut here. I'm a little red, if you couldn't tell, because I'm like one of the whitest people on earth until I go out in the sun. And I went fishing with my son, and we caught, check this out, we caught a Patagonia hat. I'm pretty psyched about that. We were trolling past this little island, and John's like, God, Dad, look at that. And I'm like, oh shit, that's a Patagonia hat. And so I picked his ass up, and I threw him in the water, and he swam out, and he got the hat, and brought it back to the boat. Pretty awesome kid, got a free Patagonia hat. It's a good day. Made me happy. You know what doesn't make me happy though? I come back, I flip on the old computer, I bring up the old Google, look up some police news, and come to find out, police were told at the Dallas shooting last year to leave their protective gear behind. You guys probably saw the Dallas shooting last year where Michael Xavier Johnson, who was mad about the Philando Castile shooting, he was also mad about the Alton Sterling shooting down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So he took his rifles, he went out, he killed 5 white Dallas police officers. He was specifically targeting white officers. He injured 9 of them. And I don't know if you guys have seen the videos, they're pretty awful. He was legitimately just executing them in the street, walking up to them, shooting them point blank. He was the one also where they blew his ass up with a robot. They attached some C4 to a bomb disposal robot and drove it to where he was and just blew him up. People were upset about that too, like, oh, the police are using drones. No, that was a pretty badass way to take someone out who just killed 5 police officers. But you guys remember that whole incident, and lo and behold, the news actually did something in police officers' favor on this article. With a little bit of outstanding investigative reporting on their part, they did find out that police were told to leave their protective gear behind before that shooting. The shooting was during a Black Lives Matter / police protest. There were 100 officers assigned to protect the protest, which was protesting police. This investigative team at Dallas CBS learned that the officers assigned to the rally in downtown Dallas last July, where 5 officers were killed and 9 were wounded, were told not to wear certain heavy protective gear because it would make them look too militaristic. And we've talked about this before, guys. I'll link the video below, but I made that big video about police being too militarized, about how people need to stop getting their feelings hurt because police need this equipment. Mike Matta, the president of the Dallas Police Association, told the I-Team that while all of the officers were believed to have been wearing standard issue protective vests, soft armor, many had with them better protective gear, stronger, thicker body armor, and helmets, but had to keep them in their patrol vehicles. They didn't want the police department to look militaristic to the community, look aggressive, and cite any type of trouble. For the same reason, according to Matta, the officers were not allowed to arm up with powerful long rifles, a weapon much like the one Micah Johnson had when he ambushed them, marking one of the deadliest attacks on law enforcement in history. President of the Dallas Police Association goes on to say a lot of those shots and a lot of those wounds were chest shots, lower abdomen shots, and those heavy vests would have covered them. Because people get so butthurt when police wear plate carriers or have rifles or even helmets on, 5 police officers died and 9 were wounded. Think about those officers who were protecting a police protest. If they had long guns and plate carriers on, how quickly they could have ended the threat. How the numbers could have been 1, maybe 2 officers killed instead of 5 killed and 9 injured. But boo-hoo, they would look too militaristic if they carried long guns and plate carriers. Oh, man, that's... Oh, man. Just to tag along with all the political correctness and people getting their feelings hurt super easy when a police officer does anything, San Antonio Police Chief William McManus also has something to say about people getting their feelings hurt. In case you didn't hear earlier this week, there were 2 police officers ambushed and shot in San Antonio. Officers Miguel Moreno and Julio Cavazos were on directed patrol Thursday looking for and trying to prevent car burglaries in the area. They saw 2 suspects walking down the sidewalk. They wanted to stop and talk to them, and as soon as they got out of their car, they were fired upon by the 2 suspects. Both officers were wounded, and Officer Moreno succumbed to his injuries a few days later. One of the suspects turned his gun on himself and killed himself. Another one ran off, and they caught him later on. Chief McManus, though, has this to say about all the police haters. I'm angry at the police haters. I'm sick of the police haters. We protect them, we defend them, and they give us the big fuck you, and I'm sick of it. He goes on to say, the haters will say we mistreat people, that we don't, You were rude to me. You were mean to me. You were this to me. You were that to me. How do you approach somebody on guard, on alert, knowing that something could happen to you without maybe somebody feeling like you're not being friendly enough? But that's why. Basically what he's saying is that these people who get super butthurt at the police just not being friendly enough need to realize that the officer doesn't know if you're going to kill them or not. You got all these YouTube channels out there, Oath Accountability Project, where 2 police officers will stop for a smoke break and someone will get pissed because they're violating some kind of protocol. Or the police officer will tell them to go away, it's a crime scene, and they act like a little bitch about it. But hey, good news, everyone. The infamous Florida man cannot reproduce. He shot his dick off. Everyone, I'm going to cut this one short. It's the 4th of July weekend. There's a lot of beer I need to drink. I'm making a low country boil today. I have family in town. I'm going to go have some fun. Everyone, please have a fantastic weekend.